I'm offering an introductory special on the Lenormand Monthly Outlook reading. Book your reading today. The link is in the bio. Hello, TSP. Happy Sunday. This is the weekly Lenormand reading for the week of May 17th, 2020. And I hope everyone is finding joy in their weekend. Happy Sunday, everyone. And happy birthday to my mother. Her birthday was yesterday, May 16th. But I just wanted to say, happy birthday, Mom. I love you. I am in tune. Asking Lenormand what message or messages does the Sacred Path group need to know to help guide your week this week. And if you're watching this video on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the Sacred Path YouTube channel. And if you want to be notified when the next video is posted, hit that bell and you will be notified, okay? And thank you so much for subscribing. Okay, so let's see what Lenormand has this week. We have the whip, the fox, and the ship. Very interesting. The whip, the fox, and the ship. I have I already am getting these messages coming in loud and clear. And as always, I will tell you what the cards mean first and then tell you the messages that I see. So the central theme of this flip this week is the fox, that sly fox. The fox is an animal that is all about the benefit of self, and that's what this card represents. Think about the characteristics of the fox. The fox is highly intelligent, patient, analytical, questions everything, doesn't trust very easily. And all the information that it receives, that it gets, a lot of times they get this information stealthily, is used to seize the opportunity for the benefit of self. Now, those characteristics that I just described can be used both high vibrational, positive, or low vibrational, negative. And this is why I say that this card has a duality to it. Because on the positive side, the benefit of self could be self-preservation. It could also be an entrepreneur, which this card also represents. People who work for themselves, business owners and entrepreneurs. And in order to be successful in business, you definitely have to be cunning. You definitely have to be sharp-witted. You have to be on it and sit back and learn and then know when to seize the opportunity for the benefit of self. So that's the positive side to it. The negative side, of course, the narcissist or the selfish person who is, is pulling the wool over your eyes, and you won't know it until he's gotten what he's gotten. And then you realize he or she has gotten what it's gotten for the benefit of self. Look how it's looking back at the hen. It's just looking back at the hen. It's like, okay, it's broad daylight. I'm going to figure out how to get you. I'm going to get you. Like, that's what I see when I first saw this image. So those are the meanings of, that's the meaning of the fox card. It is a card all about the benefit of self, okay? And this is a no negative energy card. However, depending on the cards around it, the duality of this card comes into play, okay? And then we have the whip, okay? The whip, and I'm going to hold this up. And I tend to do that every so often when this card shows up. There we go. The whip, but what's behind it is the broom too. So traditionally is called the whip broom. We just call it the whip when we see it. This is about angry words, anger, This is repetitive cycles and a negative, because this is a no negative card. Negative repetitive cycles and sweeping away of the broom, again, is a repetitive motion back and forth. Um, this is about discipline, okay? This is also is a physical card, so this is about sex, can be about sex depending on the cards around it. But this is that physical, and I always use the words hurt so good type of sex, as opposed to the lily, which is very sensual and lovely, and the snake, which can embody some of this hurt so good stuff, but the snake is more of sex for salacious reasons. So, those are all the meanings of the whip broom, okay? We have negative patterns, okay, and cycles and discipline, okay? This represents anger, angry words, arguments, okay, disagreements. Um, so, this could also represent physical abuse, again, depending on the cards around it, or abuse of any kind, okay? And then we have the ship. We've seen this before. This is a yes positive card, and the ship represents travel and modes of transportation, also long distance, okay? Because it takes a long time for a ship to get to where it needs to be. Um, and so, trains, planes, cars, and other modes of transportation, this represents long distance. Um, and this also can be long distance, in a physical long distance, and also a symbolic long distance as well. And the reason why I mentioned the symbolic long distance is because it's in one of the meanings that I am going to tell you. So let me tell you the meanings that I see here. First off, we have two no negative energy cards against one yes positive energy card. So this week is going to be kind of heated, and when I see the whip, I do see heat. It kind of heated. There's arguments, disagreements, and for some of you, even some of you may experience a need to defend yourself, Now, this could be physical, because remember I told you that this is a physical card. But I'm also thinking defend yourself within this disagreement or within this argument. There is a need to defend. Benefit of self, preservation of self, protection of self. Look at how the fox is looking back at that whip. But also look where the fox is headed. The fox is headed towards the ship, moving away from this chaos here. This is chaos. This is a hot, chaotic mess, this card is. And so the fox does what it needs to do, and it will do what it needs to do to find its peace, to find its happiness. And so moving away from the chaos is what I want to say. I do see as far as the self-discipline, especially because what's interesting is I just wrote a blog post on a TLotus Thought, the blog, about the retrogrades that are happening, the planetal the retrogrades of 4 different planets that are happening at the same time. They all happened last week, and I wrote about them. And one of those planets is Saturn, and Saturn is the disciplinarian. So it's very interesting that this card shows up this week. And there is a need for self-discipline, but you kind of don't wanna. And so there's this there's a conflict, kind of an internal battle between doing what you know needs to be done, and doing what it is you really want to do, which is not this here. So I do see some self-discipline and some struggles with self-discipline this week. In business, I see that there are going to be some disagreements as to maybe how operations or things should go, especially as we're starting to reopen the country, some parts of the country sooner than they should. And so there is a whole big debate, disagreement on that. And again, the ship is moving away from the chaos. So um, the fox could represent a person who is leaving a situation, even though they're being relied on. Or this could be someone in your life that is leaving a situation, whether it's in business or personal, right when they are needed because they are dependent upon, but they're leaving, like they're moving away from it. So that a situation like that will arise this week for some of you as well. Okay. So this is the energy from this flip that I feel is hot. I feel heat. And I feel a need for self-preservation and self-protection. And so in that vein, Lenormand says, take on the characteristics of the fox. But also with all of the other things that I've been talking about the fox could be you, or it could be someone in your life. So just be open to how this plays out and materializes in your life this week. I see so many more messages. And of course, as always, I will write them up and post them in a TLotus Thought, the blog. I'll drop the link in the description and you can read more about this flip this week, including my intuitive message. And hopefully, this has been of help to you. And if it has, please leave a comment or message under this video when it is done. And if you are interested in a one-on-one Lenormand reading with me, TLotus, clear and concise, still have the monthly outlook reading going on. Now, I know that, and it's a permanent fixture, a part of Lotus Readings offerings. But there is a special this month. So, and it's to the 31st. So you can participate in that by going to, I don't know why my words are jumbled today, by going to my website, thesacredpath11.com/lotus readings, and you can book your reading right away. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful rest of your Sunday and an amazing week ahead.